My heart cannot take this. What is up, Finn fans? What a game. What an absolute game. There's so much I need to talk about. I'm probably going to forget some of the things because I'm beyond excited for what I saw from the offense. There's things that need to be worked on. This team is not perfect. It's week one, but we came out with the W, and there's some things we need to talk about. But first and foremost, we're going to look at stats. Tua Tagovailoa. The man threw the ball 45 times. He completed 28 of them for 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception with 110 passer rating. I am ecstatic with the way Tua played. Now, there was some plays where I'm like, Tua, what are you doing? Like, he threw it into triple coverage, I think 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, and then the fumble on like the 2 or 3 yard line, that was Tua's fault. He closed his hands too soon. But then he just went off. The deep pass to Tyreek Hill on the right side of the field where he stepped up in the pocket and let that sucker fly and caught Hill in motion. I'm going to be talking nonsense because I'm too excited. He's been on their 35. In my head, I'm like, all right, slowly matriculate it. Do your thing. Da-da-da. Tua's like, hold this. Boom, touchdown to Tyreek Hill. Like, he was just rolling to his left, getting out of the pocket, getting away from pressure, dart to Durham Smythe, and just making throws. You can't say anything bad about Tua. 95% of the passes today from Tua were just ridiculous. There was the 5% he needs to work on, but the man was on. Raheem Mostert, 10 carries for 37 yards. They stopped running the ball a few times. I'll get to that. Tyreek Hill, 11 receptions for 215 yards. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches for 78. Durham Smythe, 3 catches for 44. Braxton Berrios, 3 for 42. Braxton was doing his thing like a chicken wing. We had 3 sacks on the day. 2 of them came on that last drive. 1 with a blitz from Kader Kohu. Josh Sanders missed an extra point. Kind of bothered me a little bit, but in the end, it didn't matter. And then you look on the flip side, Justin Herbert still had a really good game. 23 out of 33, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 99.1 passer rating. He did his thing, but they heavily relied on the run. Austin Eckler, 16 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Kelly, touchdown. Justin Herbert himself, a touchdown. That's where their bread and butter was. They're going to run it down your throat because no one had 100 yards receiving. No sacks. Dolphins offensive line gave up no sacks. The Dolphins offensive line actually did really well in the pass protection. It had a lot to do with Tua and his pocket presence, but also the team in general did really well, allowing him time to make the throws he made. Oh, let's talk about some things. I'm so excited. Let's talk about some things. Mike McDaniel needs to run the ball more. You're on your own 5-yard line and you threw the ball 3 times. Like, what are you doing, my man? And that happened a few times where he just stopped running the ball in the red zone. Does he not feel comfortable with Mostert? Does he not feel comfortable with the offensive line to get the push? Has he seen something we don't see? What's going on there? Need to do better. The rush defense was, to say garbage would be an offense to garbage. It was putrid. Absolutely putrid. Like, it was, the rush defense was absolutely horrible. Barely got any pressure. It wasn't until the, like I said, the last drive, we got the 2 sacks that kind of sealed the game for us. Barely any pressure at all. Does the Chargers just have that good of an offensive line? Is it going to change when we face the Patriots next week? Maybe. I don't know. But the defensive front worries the crap out of me. Secondary, I think Xavier Howard got caught with some penalties that were stupid. Like, some of them were over the head of the player, and he got a flag for it. I think the pass interference, or I think it was illegal contact on the tight end. I think there were some penalties that were like question at best. There was a lot of holding that wasn't called, but who cares about that stuff? The Dolphins won. And then when the defense needed to do their thing, they did their thing. Justin Herbert got the ball with a minute and 30 seconds. I don't know, perfectly off the top of my head. A minute 30 with 2 timeouts. And he just needed to kick a field goal to win the game. And the Dolphin defense stepped up in that point. Fangio called the right plays in that point, and they did their thing. And then the dumb intentional grounding by Justin Herbert and the other stuff essentially sealed the win for the Miami Dolphins. But I will say this. The Dolphins offense is legit. They were not facing a banged-up Chargers defense. They're not facing a banged-up secondary of that Chargers defense. J.C. Jackson, Derwin James, all those guys. You had Bosa, you had Khalil Mack. They're no slouches. And Tua did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do. And he carved that defense up. This offense is legit. The defense, like I told you guys before the season started, and I talked about expectations, the defense is going to need a little bit. It's a brand spanking new defense. Fangio came out himself and said there's still starters we need to find. The depth at the defensive tackles position is still struggling. Why do you think they were gassed? Because we got 3 in Seiler, Davis, and Wilkins. But that being said, rush defense needs to step up. We need a better pass rush, and we need a run game. If we can get that stuff, this team is going to be ridiculous because they dropped 36 points. 37 should have been. Actually, should have been more. Should have been 40-something if not for the bad snap. I'm so happy we won this game, and I'm so happy with what I saw out of Tua Tagovailoa. Like I said, you cannot watch this game unbiasedly and watch Tua play and sit back and think that he sucks. That man was making throws, running, throwing the ball away, being smart. I'm ecstatic for this game, the way the game panned out. I'm going to give you some other stats. Total yards, Miami Dolphins 536 to the Chargers 433. Total plays, Chargers had more, 76. Dolphins had 65. First downs equal, 30-30 on the first downs. Chargers had more time of possession, 32 minutes and 41 seconds, 27 minutes and 19 seconds for the Dolphins. The biggest takeaway from this game, in my opinion, and the biggest play that kind of won the game for the Dolphins is J.C. Jackson pass interference on Eric Ezukanma, allowing the Dolphins to kick a field goal to go up 20-17 going into halftime. Like that right there, you take those 3 points away, the Dolphins lose this game because it would be 34-33 and we would have lost. So J.C. Jackson kind of helped the Dolphins get that win. But it wasn't, and I understand a lot of us in the chat and stuff were very like, oh God, this defense sucks. I kept trying to talk you guys off the bridge because again, it is week 1. Look at the, Cincinnati got beat up by Cleveland 24-3. Look at Pittsburgh. They got beat up 30-7. It's week 1. You're still kind of getting in fluidity, especially you got a new defense. Give it till week 4. But the fact that the defense stepped up when we needed it to a few times to allow us to stay in the game and make a few stops, and the Cater Kohu sack almost was a safety and some plays here and there is why we won this game. But I am just so happy that we can watch the rest of the week being up 1-0. The Patriots lost to the Eagles, and then we have the Jets, the Bills tomorrow night. I'm going to be live for that game. But I have a lot planned for you guys. It's going to be later tonight. I'm going to go over this week's games, today's games, later tonight in a video. And then I'm going to give you the best of live stream tonight as well. And then tomorrow, deeper dive. And then we got film breakdowns. We got so much stuff. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Over 100 of you are new subscribers. I love you. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys later tonight. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.